Good afternoon. If everyone would stand and join us in the pledge, and thereafter would you remain standing, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would ask, can I get everybody to stand for just a minute, please? I want to give a moment of silence due to the loss of one of our county commissioners, which was Dave Kirsch. So just a moment of silence, please. Okay, thank you. Okay, beginning with the minutes. Got any minutes, Helen? Yeah. Okay, commissioners meeting on July 7th, 2026. I would entertain a motion.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any reports, Helen?
I have none.
None? Okay. About correspondence,
I have none.
commissioners?
None for me.
Okay, calendar review, please.
Just scroll all over to see the plan, but it's really big. This is it for today. Tomorrow is Wednesday. How's it going? I don't see anything tomorrow. Thursday, Mental Health Local Advisory Committee meeting at noon. Survey review at 1:30. Commissioner Doolittle's Friday. And Monday. Looks like we have Boulder City Council at 6:30 and Whitehall Town Council at 7.
Any other additions or corrections, commissioners?
Do you have a weed board meeting tonight?
It's canceled.
It's canceled.
Yeah.
Perfect. I think I'm not sure if I have a JLDC meeting tomorrow. I think they typically cancel their July meeting, so.
Sam's probably still gone, isn't she?
I think she's back, but
Oh.
I haven't gotten an agenda yet, so I think it's probably canceled. So I think that was all I had. Extra on the calendar.
Anything, sir?
I don't have anything else.
Okay, the only thing I got is at 6:30 PM is library board meeting here in Boulder on Thursday night, the 16th. Okay, commission reports. Commissioner Doolittle.
All I had was a road safety meeting on Thursday morning where everything is going good. Our safety officer's out with a issue with his leg. Not related to safety, so that's a good thing. So Bear, the road supervisor, went through the safety thing. We talked about quite a few different things and that they've been working on, no injuries, so that's good. That's all I had.
Commissioner Kirsch.
All right, last Wednesday morning, we had a county school transportation meeting. That's just where all the schools and superintendent, the county superintendent, the road supervisor, and myself get together and talk about school bus routes, changes, and anything that needs to be updated or upgraded. And I think this is the first year we were out of there in about a half an hour. Everything was good. Nothing didn't really need to be changed. We talked a little bit about certain things, and everything seems to be working just fine this year. And it was Sarah Iyer, our superintendent of schools, last meeting, and she'll be not terming out, but she'll be done with her term at the end of this year, and we'll hopefully have a replacement for her. And Sarah did a really good job for us for many years, so we're going to be sad to see her go. Let's see what else. I have anything else to mention? Didn't make it to Trico Fire. Oh, we met with the Department of Corrections Director Strauss on Thursday morning. He wanted to update us about the women's prison that was possibly gonna come to Boulder. They have decided not to, actually build a new women's prison facility. We were in the running with like 3 or 4 other towns to be, for the siting of that women's prison, which a lot of the community members didn't want, so I'm kind of glad that the corrections went away from it, but they're gonna do some moving around of their residents in their correction facilities in the state. Which means we'll probably have a different bunch of residents out here eventually, which they've changed probably 3 times in the last
At
decade
least.
anyway, but it sounds like it's a better deal. They're gonna, remodel this facility out here, the Riverside facility. To make room. Essentially what they're gonna do is take the Pine Hills bunch out of Miles City, and it's usually about 30 residents, move them to Riverside out here. Move the 50 or so women to Miles City where they have more beds, and it'll actually open up probably 100 more beds with that facility. So just them moving people around, they can get the capacity they need. They're still gonna spend some money on the existing facilities to get them up to date. But I think I haven't heard anybody, not okay with that yet, so I think it's a good plan for Department of Corrections to fill their needs with the money they've got and keep the communities happy, so. Kudos to the state for that. Let's see, what else did I have going on? This morning we had a couple of budget meetings. Let's see, the first one was us, the commission. We went through our budget this morning, and then we had a solid waste council meeting, or solid waste board meeting, I guess, this morning to talk about the solid waste program, and Mike's doing a great job. Really nothing to report on that. We just purchased a new haul truck and it's been working really good. Saving us time and fuel. He said this was one of the busiest months he's had since he's been supervisor, and it shows that we're growing as a county, and our needs are growing as well, but solid waste is keeping up and doing good. And his department is one that's kind of, we're very focused in on safety because they have such an unsafe job to begin with. And we try to pound into them: safety, wear your gloves, don't get behind the trucks when they're backing up, all that stuff. And they're doing an awesome job, keeping their people safe. So that saves us on our work comp, rates and all that. So it's a good deal all the way around. And then we had let's see, what was it? Extension office budget meeting, I think was our last thing today, and they're doing really good. Really no changes there. They're spreading the word about a community-based leadership program for Madison, Jefferson counties. It's a Thursday a month for like 9 months. Really good for anybody that wants to kind of learn more about the counties. It's a joint venture between Madison and Jefferson. Kind of teach leadership skills, and you actually get to bounce around the different parts of the county and do some tours and stuff. So it's kind of a cool thing. If anybody's interested in it, if anybody can have this, and I think it's probably will be on our website, or I know it's on Facebook, on the Jefferson County Facebook, if you are interested. If you don't find this, let me know and we'll get you hooked up. And I think that's all I had today and last week, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner. Only thing I've got is last week, planning board met and they had a special training session. Karen from the MACO, which is the Montana Association of County, came out and taught a class for 3 hours. It was very entertaining as for the do's and don'ts of what you do in a planning board and those things that the criteria needed to vote or not vote for specific things. So it was very worthwhile. There's going to be another one this next month. Other than that, that's all I've got. Now is the opportunity for public comment. That's anything that isn't on the agenda as of right now. And so if anyone has anything to say, I would ask that you first identify yourself prior to speaking. And again, this is something that we cannot take any action on. Is there anyone that has any public comment other than what's on the agenda? Okay. I hate this part. We got about 5 minutes and time specific, so we can discuss and decide on this, okay? I think most of you that's why you're here. So we'll see if anybody else shows up. I'll just tell you this part so we can make it a little quicker once we get going. I'll open it up and then I'll read what the initial is, and then we'll open it up from that point on, and I'm gonna give the proponent, in this case, Mr. Bowen, the opportunity to speak on his behalf, and then allow the other to speak, okay? So that's sort of how it's gonna work, but I'll ask that you identify yourself prior to, because of the record, please. So.
Whitetail. Did you come over the whitetail?
No. I'll go ahead and start. My name is Leonard Helen.
Hi.
I live on,
Yes, I got it. You wanna start now, or we need about 1:45, I mean, I gotta.
I'd give it a couple more minutes.
Just a couple
more.
Yeah.
Okay.
And-
I'm just hard to hear.
Oh, no, Leon, what I'll do is I'm gonna open it, I'll read up the letter, okay,
Okay.
EQ letter. And I'm gonna open it up to Mr. Bowen
Oh,
as for
okay.
why, and then anyone that has any opportunity that may be a proponent as opposed to an opponent, okay?
Okay, all right, okay.
Matter. Like Leo said, can you speak up a little bit? I can't hear so good either.
Oh, okay, all right. You want me to repeat myself, what I've said so far? No, really?
Well, no, I'm,
Okay, I'll let you know as soon as we start, okay?
sure.
So I can loan you one of these if you want.
Cut through, hold on.
Oh, you do
Don't
too?
work so good.
They don't work so good, do they? I'm right there with you.
Hi, Paul.
Paul?
Now that I got you all gathered here, I'd like to say a few words about the University of Montana.
Go ahead, we got.
Yeah, you got 3 minutes.
Double time, Paul.
Okay.
You got lucky. I was gonna have you lead us in Pledge of Allegiance.
I can do that.
Well, we haven't.
You're
did it.
late.
Somehow I got wind of this.
We've got, yeah,
Okay.
it's one here.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna bring a chair over here. Paul,
it doesn't matter.
I can move it over here, so.
Do you want this one?
Thank you.
Here.
Here, Jim. Good. Okay, good.
Longest 2 minutes, isn't it?
Takes a long time.
That's how we used to feel when we were waiting for backup. Yeah, Sheriff?
You're probably close enough now, Danny.
Sounds good.
Phone's here still.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started then. Okay, what this is discuss and decide on resolution 13-2026, which is a resolution regarding support of or opposition to the location of a motor vehicle wrecking facility in Jefferson County, Montana. I'm gonna open up by reading the letter that we received from DEQ, and I believe Mr. Salisbury received one, and I don't know whom else, but. So, Jefferson County Commissioners, dear Commissioners, the Montana Department of Environmental Quality, DEQ Motor Vehicle Recycling and Disposal Program has received an application for a motor vehicle wrecking facility license. The proposed location is within the boundaries of Jefferson County as required by the Motor Vehicle Recycling and Disposal Act 75-10-516, Montana Code Annotated. This letter notifies you the DEQ has received the application. The name and mailing address of the applicant are listed below. Will's Recycling, 153 Whitetail Road in Whitehall, Montana. The proposed MVWF will be in Jefferson County within a fenced area at 153 Whitetail Road, Whitehall, Montana. The property is owned by William Bowen. The legal description of the facility is, gives the coordinates and stuff. The applicant is applying to license the entire 5.53 acre parcel pursuant to section 75-10-5166 parentheses 2 Montana Code Annotated. Within 30 days of receipt of this notification, the governing body of the county may conduct a public hearing to determine whether the proposed facility will significantly affect the quality of life of adjoining landowners and the surrounding community, and B, adopt a resolution in support of or in opposition to the location of the proposed facility and transmit a copy of the resolution to DEQ. DEQ may not grant a license to a facility that the governing body has opposed under this section of the law. And if I may be any assistance, Brady Christensen signed it. So from that point on, I would open it up, start with you, Will, if you want to present your side of it, please.
Yeah, I guess I don't know where to start.
Why you're doing what why you're requesting.
Can I say something before, Mr. Chairman? I'd just like to say that the commission, as far as this goes, we had heard about this letter, got a copy from some of the residents down there. We didn't get our letter till after that. And it's my understanding from this and talking to the county attorney that we can do one of three things. We can oppose your wrecking yard, we can support your wrecking yard, or we can do absolutely nothing and let DEQ do what they're gonna do. And I think we felt in the best interest of the public and their input that we decided to have this public hearing on this, so we could hear from you people that it affects, and it affects all of you, either whether you're a resident of the community, a resident adjoining where you want a wrecking yard, or your wrecking yard. So that's why we're here, and the decision really could be any three of those. So does that make sense?
Yeah, and I
Okay.
appreciate your guys' time. So I guess I'll start in the beginning. I've been doing this there for 20 years. Okay, I take very good care of my property. I'm very careful with the fluids and everything else there. Anybody can come and take a look and see that. Yes, there are a lot of vehicles there because that's what I do. It's a big part of my income. I broke my back when I was 22 years old, and I haven't really been able to work for anybody since. So instead of sitting on the couch and not doing anything, I wanted to support my family. So these are the things that I do. So if I lose this, it's really going to affect me. Secondly, I got ordinance on how far their houses are from where I'm at. So Scott's house is 320 yards away from where I'm at doing my business, which is a little more than 1/8 of a mile. And Doug's place is 1,020 yards. That's a little over 1/2 a mile. So, and Leo's is about 300 yards as well. And so my equipment's not very loud. My lawnmower's louder than my equipment running. They may hear some banging once in a while with metal or whatever. I don't do it a lot. I'm a one-man show. I do it myself. So it's not a huge operation. It's also, it helps the community stay clean. I do a lot of that, keeping everything kept up and processed, and they get shipped out. I live there, so I want to keep the groundwater and everything good too. I did a water test 3 years ago. I got it right here. You can see it. Come back, everything's fine. Talk to DEQ. about it and stuff like that. He says, well, they crush cars up, I think he said Missoula or somewhere, thousands of cars. And they have oil that gets on the ground. He said, they've done multiple oil tests. They never seem to have an issue. If we need to get him on the phone, he said he'd be more than happy to be involved on this. If you want to get him on the phone for anything you need to know. Because there's a lot that I didn't know either. And I suppose everybody else, but, I try to do everything the correct way. I've had complaints in the past with different things. Anytime anybody's ever came out and I've been, you know, they come out and look, I've never had a violation on me. Not one time. Same with, I guess that somebody's concerned about what I burn in my burn pit. Well, I've had the officers come out like 3 different times, never an issue. I'm not burning anything I'm not supposed to. So, like I said, I'm trying to do my best and I'm very adamant on how I do things. And the location is actually better than most scrap yards I know of. I mean, a lot of them are in city limits, where there's a lot closer businesses and houses and everything else, and they seem to do fine. And there's no covenants up there where I live. So I'm 10 feet below the level of the highway, and it's about 400 yards from where I'm at. So you can't really, if you might be able to see spots of where I'm at, but it's not very noticeable at all. A lot of people don't know I'm even there. So, I don't know what else to say, I guess, like hear what everybody else has to say, maybe have an input after that, I guess. So,
I would ask Mr. Bowen at this point, how many residents do you have in your location, given location down there?
let's see, 1, 2. Counting my
Mhm.
house. So there's 4 on that parcel,
Or on the parcel?
of the 5 acres I'm trying to get in.
How many?
Parcel was that one?
The 5-acre parcel.
Which one is that? The one that your house is on, or Leah's piece?
No, the one that my house.
That's the 5 acres? Okay.
Could you pull this up on a map, Corey?
How many people within those residents?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Can you hold it just a minute? You're gonna get a chance, just.
That one right there.
Is there anything you want to point out, Mr. Bowen? I mean, do you want to go up there and show us?
What are we looking at here? We'll be here, right?
Yep.
It doesn't show it sectioned off, but I'm thinking from this picture, it's probably cuts right off here somewhere. This is my house here. That's my other house, it's where my son lives. And then there's a cabin there. And then, there's another house, but it's not in this picture, it was right there.
Is that whole squared off section there clear up? Going north to the yellow line, is that the whole 5 acres you're talking about?
No. No, what I look like, I believe it's right here somewhere. Line,
Below where your fingers is or above?
yes, this way.
That's where the 5 acres that you're gonna have the yucking yard, you mean?
Yeah, that's where, well, the wrecking yard, let's see, would actually be out in this area here. Well, let's see, so I'm trying to, I can't really, must be an old picture. Yeah, the
Oh.
wrecking yard, actually, it's
Well, I
probably,
think it is.
that might be the whole 5 acres, yeah. So the wrecking yard would be right in here.
I think it is an old picture, cause there's
Yeah.
about 10 times more, trailer houses and, motor homes. And
Everything that I got out there is all legal, it's all been done through the sanitary end. DEQ came out, I have a letter from DEQ stating there's nothing wrong out there. So if you want.
No, other than just a mess, but that's all right.
No, it's all, I've had all the authorities out there. What are you guys calling on me, so.
Anything else?
So
Mr.
that where the dot is right there, that you're running around is, that's mine.
Yeah,
So there's nothing there right now, but that's a nice piece of ground for future residential areas, and I don't know how big it is. He says his is 5 acres. So mine looks like it's a little bit bigger than 5 acres, but, by putting a little yard in there, the value of my property without a record yard there is considerable. Put a record yard in there, the value of that property drops quite a bit. And then, if you go up to some of Leo's stuff up there, just by, well, the whole area by having a record yard just being devalued.
Okay, do you have anything else you want to say, Mr. Bowen, first?
as far as that goes,
I mean, you'll have an opportunity to respond back again, but for right now.
yeah, my reply to that is, I've been there for 20 years already. And any wrecking yard, yeah, nobody likes a wrecking yard, the looks of it, I mean, but it's a business. And it's a business that's required, honestly, I mean, every county usually has one. And it's just, like I said, mine, I believe is a good spot where it's out of sight, that's out of city limits. I don't know how it gets any better than that.
Paul, you bet.
I know.
Several questions. What's the access off of the highway, the Whitetail Highway?
It's right,
Can you show me what it
yeah.
is?
This is the highway here.
Yeah.
So the access is all the way up here.
And so that's how you're bringing the vehicles or any equipment in?
Yeah.
Is that way right now?
Mhm.
Is your area fenced, meaning is it fenced so that you cannot see through the fence?
Well,
But I see.
the requirements through the requirements through DEQ just requires that it's 6 foot, like I said, the from here to here is 10 foot. I'm lower than the road for
Right,
10
right,
feet.
right.
And that's what they require only off the main road. It doesn't say anything about the people that live next to you.
Okay.
It's only about the main road is what DEQ.
Visually it has to be blocked. from the-
Right,
Okay,
that's DEQ's rules.
all right. How many vehicles annually do you process?
Oh, probably 100,
100?
which is not a big number for a wrecking or scrapyard. So,
Okay, so what I'm asking is you're applying for a permit, I presume, right now. What prompted you to do this? Did you have?
I wanted to do I didn't know I needed one, to be
Okay.
honest with you,
Uh-huh.
and it came to my attention. I'm trying to think of your name.
Jim Murphy.
Jim Murphy. He came out
Uh-huh.
and looked at my property to check everything out, and he told me that I should get a hold of DEQ, so which I did.
Mhm.
And they told me that it takes anywhere from 6 to 8 months to get a license. And the paperwork, there was a lot of paperwork,
Right.
and we got that done immediately. I paid all the fees. We're just waiting, and they're required to let these guys know that I was applying for it.
I just wanted to say something about the base map. I don't know what the age of that one is, but if you look on Onyx, which is updated at a regular interval, it's quite different in terms.
Yeah, there's a
of
lot
what's
more
on
there,
there.
yeah.
There's a lot more on
Right.
there.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to say there isn't. I mean, I'm just,
Yeah, that gives a very different view of what's on the property presently. Do you guys have Onyx?
No.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, this is-
I've looked at it on Onyx. This is the Montana cadastral map.
Right, I know,
It
they're,
could be,
they're a little bit behind age wise.
they're a lot behind.
And I think we're mostly concerned with the property lines and
Okay.
what properties are
Yeah.
ran, not so much that what's on the property right now.
Okay,
So
Just
the
thought I'd-
the satellite picture from Onyx is different, is what you're
Mhm.
saying. The natural lines don't matter.
Right.
So, Mr. Bowen, how many are you saying that would be affected by this as for the residents within on your property?
Well, yeah, my residents are a lot closer than anybody else's, and, there would be, 1,
You have rentals though?
4, yeah.
You've got
Well,
rentals in there?
yeah.
Okay.
Got my house, that would be 4 different ones there. And, you know, everybody's fine with it, you know, but,
You've talked to
oh,
the folks there?
I kind of have to disagree with you, only that there's only 4 residents in there. There's those camp trailers, there's a house up on the corner, there's, that motor home, there's people living in there, that shack or that cabin that you got over there now. I see somebody's built a tent again between the cabin and, my fence. They're living in a tent.
no, they're not.
Well, I don't know what they're doing. They built a tent there.
Well, yeah, he's using it for storage.
Uses it for what?
He has storage in there, I guess. He
Well,
doesn't know, nobody's living there. I mean, I
I
don't
don't
know where
think
and
so.
ask
I
what he
think there's
puts in there,
somebody
but they, I
living in there.
guarantee nobody's living there.
Well, that picture right there,
And I'm not saying that there isn't, there are some campers out there, yeah, and the people have rented some spots for me, they have no water, no sewer there, there's only plugged into electricity, they're dry, and actually since, I don't know, I think when you came out, one's already moved, so.
so do you have an RV park or do you
No,
have
no, I
a
don't.
campground?
No. I don't have an RV park or campground.
Well, if you got trailers in there, dry camping, that's kind of an RV park.
Well,
So,
I guess maybe. if you
But
could-
that picture right there, it looks almost empty. If you were to go there right now and we look at that, that is full of trailers. It's not even close. This looks empty. This is all full of motor homes and stuff right in this area. There's, these things are backed in there all over the damn place like that.
Those are
The little cabin is over here. The tent they built is in the back of the cabin here. And,
So Dwayne, so what you're saying is nobody can have something to store their stuff in? And those other things you're talking about are semi-trailers, just like Connexes that I store stuff in. And there's a bus there that is empty, that is storage.
well, Willie, you could say that, but it's a
Well, no,
junk,
you can-
it's
I
a
can
junkyard.
The only person that has came out and actually looked has been Jim, so.
Why were you out
So
there?
where
Tim?
does your dry campers go to do their business?
They go to the town pump, and I also have a porta potty.
Sure.
That I bought.
Okay, I'll put you guys hold, would you say Commissioner was?
I just asked Jim, he said Jim was out there. Why were you out there, Jim?
Yeah, so several months ago, I was asked by Commissioner Haggerty to take a look at it. In the absence of Megan as the county health officer, I've been filling in, looking at complaint issues. After Dan asked me to take a look into it, I talked to one of the neighbors that, submitted a complaint to find out a little bit more about what the exact issues were. After that, well, the exact issues identified were concerns about multiple residences on the property, what was going on with their water and sewage, and whether that was contaminating things. And then the vehicle operation, whether that was contaminating things. From a health perspective, those were the things that I went out there to look at. So I made a site visit, looked around a little bit, as much as I was brave enough to do. Couldn't get a hold of anybody at that time. Revisited, I think, 2 times after that. Finally did have a face-to-face meeting with Mr. Bowden and kind of evaluated a little bit more of what was going on. Immediate health concerns, to be honest, didn't identify any. The sewage and water issues really weren't existent. There wasn't sewage being discharged from any of those kind of sleeping quarters is what I referred to them as on the grounds. Those folks were not toileting there. Since then, I guess there's been a porta potty installed, but they were doing most of that business down at the town pump from my conversation with Mr. Bowden. Looking at the wrecking yard operation, I didn't witness any or smell any evidence of fluids that were on the ground or contaminated anything that would lead to the neighbors' concern about contaminating the aquifer. So the concerns that I left Mr. Bowden with was it's an illegal operation of a wrecking yard. And he needs to go through DEQ to make that an honest operation. So I told him that, without that license from DEQ, that's really something that, shouldn't be operating, and I'd be referring that over to the county attorney. And I know that he did pursue that with DEQ, and I confirmed that with DEQ. On the other end of it, the multiple residences, I had a conversation with Dana in planning about that and looking at the zoning of the land too, to see if a wrecking yard was even allowed. And basically what it came down to with those was there's probably a violation by having even though there's sleeping quarters there, it's close to an unlicensed trailer court or unlicensed campground. And what I advised Mr. Bowden was, my understanding was that if he spaced those out a little bit more based on the way his land is carved up, he may be able to have a limited number of residences based on the way his land is carved up. I referred that issue to the county attorney for review to see if my interpretation of that statute was the same as the county attorney's. Haven't heard back from Steve Haddon yet on that. So those were the two issues that were kind of left pending. Recently, then Mike Myers had contacted me saying he did receive paperwork from DEQ saying that, there was movement going forwards for the wrecking yard, and because he handles junk vehicles, they were getting it on his radar. So I knew that part was progressing. That's pretty much my involvement in this. I don't have an opinion one way or the other. I'm here as an informational witness, I guess, on behalf of the health department. I hope that answers your question.
It does, thank you.
I do have one more thing to say, and I'm not trying to cause issues or whatever, but for, I don't know how many years, it's been a long time. It's been before I even had houses out there. I was grading my property one time, and he calls the sanitarium. And it's been, I don't know how many times he called the sanitarium. They've been out there quite a few times, always trying to say that I'm doing something wrong. And every time they come out, it's been proven that I haven't done anything wrong. Even then, he went past Megan, went to DEQ. I have a letter from DEQ saying everything's good. And so then that didn't fall through, so now it's this, and this has been, I don't know what he's got against me, but it just seems like there's something there. And like I said, I'm not trying to ask anything or say intuit anything to that, but I don't know where it's coming from. I mean, I'm trying to make a living just like everybody else. I've been doing it forever. I don't have any problems with anybody. I didn't think. I don't know. I'm trying to do the best I can, and it is what it is. I don't know what else to say.
Okay, thank you. Well, now I'm gonna open it up for opponents. Is anybody that opposes or wants to speak up?
Name's Leonard Helling. I live at 123 Whitetail. Really, the thing is, I don't begrudge you trying to make a living, okay? My main concern was you are 10 foot lower than I am. And when I did a static, check my well, we were sitting right at 13 feet. This is my main concern. What you're doing with your oil, the Freon, and also the crushing oil, all that stuff. If you've got some kind of a containment set up when you put your crusher in there to collect all that stuff. Means that you got so much going on. there.
Right, yeah, the crusher actually they have a pan that goes under their crusher.
Okay.
Trying to do that. And then it gets disposed of. But my oil, I have it in containers, and then it goes to Napa. They burn it in their oil burner.
Okay.
The antifreeze goes to a company, it's cost me $300 a barrel. The gasoline, all these cars are fairly new, so I reuse the fuel, I empty everything out. And then somebody said, I think DQ said something about the tires, well, the tires,
Yeah, that's the other one.
yeah, the tires go back in the cars. If they're on steel wheels, I leave them on the cars. If I take them off the aluminum wheels, they go back in the cars. And then anything that's good, I save because I sell used tires. And that's what I do with those and stuff, so. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I try to take care of all that stuff. Like I said, I live there too. I mean, I have wells there too.
Right.
And I wanna keep everything top notch too, you know, because I'm trying to protect me as well as you guys. And like I said, I have a water test right here that we did. Cause we have to do that for foster care anyway.
But I'm just trying, well, okay, I know, but I'm just talking about the whole, accumulative.
Yes, and
Overuse.
right, and I mean, you wanna come over and take a look, you can come over and take a look. There's not a list over there now. I take care of that stuff. I really do. Like I said, I'm a one-man show and I try to do things the right way, Bill. And I'm not trying to get anything over anybody. I'm just trying to make a living and do the best job I can do. And if you come, and I go to a lot of different scrap yards, mine looks like the Hilton compared to the ones that I go to. I mean, they're way worse than mine even thought of. But they're a lot bigger operation too, But like I said, I try to do the best I can do with all that stuff, and I mean, like DQ, they're gonna come out and inspect. They're the guys that know all this stuff and know what to look for. And that's why, I don't have any problem with that, getting a license and doing the things the correct way. And that's where I'm at. I'm not trying to hide anything from anybody. I've always tried to do the right thing, no matter what I do in life.
So I'm Deb Hanneman, also on Whitetail, so we're about 488 yards away from you as the crow flies.
Yes.
And yeah, I do have a couple concerns. One, we've been talking about the groundwater. Yeah, I am concerned about fluids. I would like to look at that water test you have. But also, you mentioned that those vehicles are relatively new. I'm also concerned about what happens. We're looking at electronics, heavy metals, etc. Have you done anything about that?
What do you?
Now vehicles have screens, electronics are upgraded. That's a serious concern.
What is any junkyard?
My question to you.
Right, that would be
Yeah.
a DEQ question, I would imagine, because
Well, if it's
They-
your junkyard, that is
Well, yeah.
your question.
as far as I know, they always nobody separates that stuff. It goes to the crusher and it goes away. And they shred it or melt it or whatever they do it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's not a concern generally with any other junkyard that I know
Well, it is a concern with other junkyards, but
of.
Yeah,
Well, I'd
we're-
like to know,
we're-
I'd like to know what it is.
well, yeah, you should find that out. That's your junkyard. But we are downgrading it, and so yes, I am concerned about what.
And there's no problem with any concern.
Well, wait a minute. Please let me finish.
Okay.
And I'm also, you talk about your livelihood. Our livelihood is partly, at least, in our property value. You talk to any realtor in any facility, what you have going on back there, there's just a drop in, 5 to 20% of property valuation. So, yes, it does affect other people's livelihood
But
as well.
any wrecking yard affects any place they're at.
Well, so you could go do it someplace else, right?
Well, why would I? I've been doing it for 20 years and it's not causing any health issues.
Well, no, I'm just
And that's
saying
actually what
that's
it's
one
about.
of my concerns.
Right.
So-
And it's actually about health concerns. That's what DEQ is about.
Yeah, okay. Well, those are my two concerns, and I'm going to give the commissioners a list of those.
Get,
You're
Can I take a picture of one of those? I'm Corbin, I'm a reporter.
Yeah.
Here's that if you want to read it.
Yeah, actually, see what they sampled for.
I can't, along the same line, Paul Backlund, as you mentioned a burn pit, so can you talk about this burn pit, and what are you burning in this pit, where it's located? And, sort of,
But it's located on the same piece of property and.
well, I mean, I understand. Where is it on the property? Is there concern with the wind when you're burning?
No, I dug a 30-foot hole, so it was protected.
But,
See here, so the burn permit, the burn pit would be. Let's see. Let's see where I'm
More
at.
towards my.
Right here in the corner.
and so what do you burn?
Wood?
Wood,
Yeah.
the problem, wood
Well,
from.
I believe that black smoke coming out of there is not wood.
Okay, there again, the officers have been out to my house 3 or 4 different times when you guys have called. They came and looked, there's absolutely nothing was in there that does burn. I don't burn tires, I don't burn that kind of stuff, I don't do it. I don't know what you guys think, but you really should find out before you assume that.
Well, a suggestion I have is you consider to use it as a dumpster. That's one of those.
We have a dumpster too.
A 30-yard dumpster, and just you putting all your trash in there and no more open burning. I mean, this is the kind of personal thing we about open burning. I don't know why everybody feels like they gotta burn trash. We have, we have a perfectly good trash or waste removal system in this county. I'd say it's fantastic. And to me, that's the proper way to dispose of any sort of waste, but that's, sorry.
I dispose of any waste that actually needs to be disposed of that way. Burning, everybody burns,
I understand.
Doug
It
burns.
doesn't make it
right,
right.
Doug? Yeah. I mean,
I love my burn barrel.
right. You know, everybody burns, and they can burn in the country. I mean, I don't understand why it's such a big deal for me to be placed.
It's not a big deal for you, but I'm just suggesting it might be something that, helps you
Okay.
run a cleaner operation.
Well, and we do pay for a dumpster every month,
Okay.
and
Or sometimes we'll collect some of the garbage, actually.
Okay, guys,
Some of the garbage.
Debbie was
Yeah.
next and then
yeah,
Mr.
well,
Murphy.
people,
then.
they when they throw garbage in the dumpster.
yeah.
Guys.
The wind blows.
She's got the floor.
I just wanted to say, I did look at your water sample, that's only colic, that's only bacteria. So we have no idea, minerals, elements, hydrocarbons.
Right.
Yeah,
And
so-
so I would really like you guys, if you wouldn't mind calling, DEQ on the phone, because he can explain this stuff like he's explained it to me, so these guys can understand it.
Oh,
Because
I
I-
already talked to him.
Oh, did you talk to him about water?
I am a
Right.
water scientist, so
Okay.
yes.
You did talk to him, but what did he say?
He said, he didn't talk about.
Okay,
your
I know, I'm
sample.
at, what did he tell you?
He said, yeah, I would sample for
Well, sure,
hydrocarbons.
we can sample it, but what he told me is what I said earlier about when they sample the water where they crush all the time and they have no issue, never have,
But where was that?
right, Missoula.
Okay,
But like I said, I don't have a problem with another water jet. I have no problem with that, because there's not gonna be anything in it, I'll guarantee you.
anyways, okay.
Just a comment and some information that may help people as they kind of wrestle with this. So this is kind of new territory to me. My experience is more of communicable disease from the state health department, and then on the environmental side, we touched on now and then, but everybody knows we inspect licensed establishments like restaurants and daycares and all that kind of stuff. So I asked DEQ, how do these inspections work for facilities like this? And what Mr. Christensen described was that they'll come out, if this is allowed to move forward, they'll come out, do more on-site assessments to make sure that it's, up to snuff and, complies with all the regulations. And then every year after that, it has to be relicensed. So it's an annual renewal. And DEQ will look at the property again periodically, or they ask the county to do that. And that would probably come down to the junk vehicle folks like Mike Myers and that. So it does get a compliance check every year before another license is issued. So I thought that, might just be useful information too, that once these things are licensed, that license is on the line, for compliance issues and can be pulled. So, or renewed.
So that would protect everybody as well, so.
Except for 20 years, you've been operating without a license, so
Yeah.
that does not seem to matter that you needed one.
Right, I didn't know that I did, honestly,
I would say if you start a business, you should know what it required.
right, you know.
And it shouldn't take
I
you
never
20 years to
researched it.
figure that out.
Right, I never researched it, and that's why I'm trying to do the right thing now. I don't know.
Only because Jim told you that would be a good idea.
Right.
That's my understanding.
Exactly. Yes,
Would you have done it had he not told you?
Probably not.
Mr. Salisbury.
I'm Doug Salisbury. My board are well on two subjects. And, you know, we try to get along with our neighbors. And when he started 20 years ago, I guess, with, these rentals, we had issues, his neighbors did, not me particularly. And, I heard he's had up to 40 people living down there. I don't know what he has today. And my big concern is you have a residential area and with a wrecking yard right in the middle of it. It either ought to be one or the other. And it ought to follow the regulations. And, this permit, the only thing I can see about this permit, it makes it illegal. You know, and, that's my only concern. It's a mess down there. I'm sure you guys have gone out and looked at it. No offense to Will here, but it is a mess. And, it's just unfortunate it got started that way. But there's still a lot of people down there.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Mr. Scott, I have a question first. How long have you lived out there?
Me?
No. Dwayne,
Since 85.
it's 85?
When we started building when we bought the property and started building our house out there, that was just empty gravel pit. And, so then one day, Will drug a trailer in and put right up against my property line here on the south. That's the trailer house that he lived in for a number of years. He since built a house and, whatnot in that area there, but there was nothing there when we started. He says that it had been there and whatnot, but there was absolutely nothing then. But
I'm sorry.
the question that I would like to ask Will too, unless you have another question.
Nope, I just wanted to know, that was it.
The last time we were over to, the county sanitarian, the Weidmans and us went over there. And we were talking to the county sanitarian. And she mentioned that you had talked to her about building a tire fence. And I said, well, is that legal? She says, well, I can't find anything where it's not. And so all of a sudden, then you started stacking all these tires against my fence there. And they're just building up.
There's not that many tires there by that. And
There's hundreds of tires there.
there is.
Oh, yes, there is.
Anyway,
People need to go out and take a look.
okay, yeah, honestly, I mean, like I said, either, have you ever seen a tire fence?
So then what is your,
It's not tires.
Yeah, there's tires there.
what is
By
your
your
feel to do with those tires?
Those are tires I resell. They're good tires.
Oh, really?
The bad ones I put back in the cars.
Ah, okay.
But, I mean, if you don't like them there, I mean, you can't even see them there unless you drive down your fence line, but I can move, I don't have a problem moving those tires, if that helps you.
Well, old tires stacked there will cause mosquitoes, the rain gets in them, they cause mosquitoes, skunks like them, rats like them, mice like them. They're, by having, tires right there against my fence line is like a place to draw all sorts of uncouth critters, I guess, what you call it. Vermin. There you go, that's the term you want to use.
What was it? Anybody said,
Vermin.
Vermin.
oh, yeah, okay. I guess that's a thing, but
Can I ask, you have it seems to be a blank piece of property. What is there, sagebrush there or what is it?
This is
Crested wheat.
Crest,
only part of them.
not agricultural.
No, no, it was,
It's sold with crested wheat to put a crop on it, right?
right, and it's not hay or anything like that, so
Right.
it's a pain in the butt, actually, because I gotta go mow it every year.
I understand. Okay.
Mr. Weidman.
Thank you. Couple of comments. Health issues are a real concern, and nothing about Jim. I don't think a visual inspection is what's really required if you're talking about groundwater. And I think there ought to be, if this thing is approved, a set of monitoring wells established between this yard and the neighbors. A set of wells that can be monitored, looking for contaminants. We read that report that was for groundwater. That was just for bacteria, it didn't have anything to do with heavy metals. I have no idea what that means. The other thing is, there are obvious, I think, alternatives. To me, if this is a business, we have a business park. And I think JLDC has come to you and asked that you promote business. And that something like this should go, not in a residential area where it's got people all around it. And on that property, it ought to go to an established business area. So anyway, that's an alternative. Maybe it doesn't make any sense, but
well,
that's an alternative.
my answer to that is, like I said, go to any other wrecking yard, it's, a lot of them are right in the town. And right next to residences and businesses and everything else. You know, that's why I say out in the country, out of town is a better place for something like that.
Well, a bad idea can't follow another. I don't know.
I believe in my experience, Mr. Bowen, that you are correct. That there's a lot of wrecking yards in residential areas. Not after they're already a residential area, there isn't. They all started before there was a residential area. And I'll bet you that's what you'd find in Missoula. You're gonna find it in Helena, out on Green Meadow. You're gonna find it out at Al Rose's place. Those places were there when it was not a residential area. That's why I'm asking Mr. Scott how long he's been out there. It was a residential area before you built this wrecking yard.
Right.
How long have you been there, Mr. Helen?
Since 87, yeah, 87 is when I moved down there.
So
And 75 people.
I'm betting you're not gonna get away today with building a wrecking yard in the middle of a residential area. Which that appears to me about what happened here. The fact is, it was never brought to anybody's attention because you never had to, you had to license it, but you didn't.
Right,
That's my problem with this.
anything.
That's-
Before before my car wrecking yard, I had a motorcycle wrecking yard there. So it's been out there for way longer than even the car wrecking yards. I've been doing it for a long time.
Was there a wrecking yard there when you built your house?
There was nothing there.
Was there a wrecking yard when you
No.
built your house?
No, there wasn't. No,
So that just,
okay,
that's my point.
okay.
I'm having a hard time with that because of this. And what the law says is in making its decision to grant or deny a license application, Department of Health shall consider the effect of the proposed facility on adjoining landowners and land uses. But it also states that when we conduct this hearing about the proposed facility, how it will significantly affect the quality of life adjoining landowners and the surrounding community. That's what I have an issue with. And I'm not too sure where to go with this, or even what I'm gonna do necessarily. I'd like to turn this whole mess over to DEQ and say, do your job.
Right, I understand that.
I don't know if that's an option.
Well, and I, you know, I have talked to him a few times, because it's all new to me.
My,
And
my only thing that I would say is your saving grace is with a licensed facility, I don't think you're gonna get away with the stuff you've been getting away with for 20 years or however long you've been doing this. And I don't think if DEQ comes out there and tests for something, you could test my well. Every time I subdivided a piece of property, every time I did something with my property, I had to test my well. It had chloroform in it. There's a solution for that. You dump bleach down it and run it through your pipes till you smell bleach and then leave it and run clean water till you don't smell bleach anymore. Your chloroform will be gone. You can't do that with oil and gas and diesel fuel and whatever else you might be burning in your burn pit, which I don't believe is just wood. And that's just, I have a fire pit that I burn wood in. It's this big around.
well, the reason I need a fire pit is when I get semi racks in. Okay, you have the trailers. And the only way to get the wood off of those trailers is to burn it off. And it's just wood.
You
And
mean like a flatbed trailer?
Wood and metal, yes, there's nothing on it but wood and metal. And I tried taking that stuff apart, the screws, they don't come off. That's the only way to deal with it.
Mr. Salisbury,
I did, I think his guy's name was Brady up there in Helena. From DEQ. I called him when I got the letter and I said, okay, what's this about? And, he told me here about your point, he's kind of wants to see what the commission wants to do. You know, everybody, it's a big circle, pushing the ball around.
it really,
So I would like to have you guys make a decision. And tell DEQ what to do. I mean. That was the impression I got from him. And I don't know, what I said to him, I said, you better come down and look at this place. And, oh yeah, I will in a couple weeks. I don't know if he did or not.
I have something to say about that as
Yeah.
well, is I would, I mean, I know we're all we don't know where to go. My suggestion is, to be fair to me and everybody else, is let's do whatever we have to do to let DEQ get involved. This is their job. They know it better than anybody. So they can come out and inspect and do whatever they have to do. That way, it's not just me trying to defend myself and these guys trying to defend their situation. And let that's what they do for a living. So they should know more than any of us what to do. If it's wrong, then I'm done. If it's needs work, then we do that, or whatever we need to do. And I would feel a whole lot better that way, to have authorities that actually know what to look for.
I think your neighbors would have felt better if you'd have done that 20 some years ago.
I'm not.
That's just
I'm not
my point.
I'm not disagreeing with that. But I'm saying if we can move to the next step with that, it's fair to everybody that way, I believe.
Well, might think so, but Montana code specifies that the governing body in the county makes that decision and then sends it on to DEQ.
Right,
So
but-
it's statute.
But none of us really know exactly how DEQ deals with this.
That's the problem.
It does say, like I said at the beginning of this thing, we can oppose it, we can support it, or we can do nothing. Which pushes it into DEQ's lap, basically.
I would respond to that by saying that DEQ has said to us that if you don't do nothing, it's granted.
It
If
could
you,
be.
if you took it
Yeah,
back to
it-
DEQ, you make the decision. It's
That would
automatic.
give
that it's
DEQ
granted.
a chance to come out and inspect, and then by licensing, if it doesn't, that would give them a chance to come out and inspect if they get it put in their lap to determine if it's a good facility or not. And then if we need to adjust some things, I don't have a problem with that.
That's not how it works though. It's the commissioners decide if they don't do anything, then DEQ goes ahead and gives you.
Right, but it's only for a year, and if that will give them the opportunity to come out and inspect me to make sure everything is correct. That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking for anything else. I just want it to be fair and give me an opportunity to either it be good or bad. Well, if it's bad, I'm done.
Mr. Salisbury, to answer your question, I talked to him today and he has not been out there and he said he wouldn't step out there unless we were to move forward on this. They don't get involved otherwise. As for Brady. And what Chuck said, Mr. Wyman said is correct. If we move forward, then it goes right on through. It will step out from there. You want me to step out?
No,
Oh. Oh.
yes. Hey, Dan,
Sir,
another thing, I called, Brett. He said another thing to do to get the ball rolling for DEQ is to go on their website. Go under, public comments. And get with an email or send them a letter. And then that way they've got a record. So that's what I did. I sent
oh,
an
okay.
email to them stating my concern, which is my ward. And how he was handling,
I have not upset with anything like.
so that's what I did. And just so that they would have record of it, well,
Yeah.
so. Yeah. That's what he told me that had to be done. That was myself. I don't know if he did that with you folks or not.
No, because I think by the time we talked with him, what you did got the ball rolling.
Right.
So this is the next phase.
Yeah. He said to go on their
So We
website.
didn't need to do anything.
Oh, okay. Well, I went ahead and sent an email just stating my concerns.
Right,
It needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
I feel,
right.
so.
Yeah.
That's where I went with that.
I'm tempted to get Brady on the phone and ask him a question. I'm just waiting for Craig.
Can you tell us what the property zone as now? Is it R2?
No zoning.
No zoning?
No zoning in the county except for up north.
Okay. Now, it's also my understanding from what I heard today that DEQ will have a public meeting concerning this, irrespective of what happens today. Is that correct?
If I get an opportunity, I'm gonna pull him up on the phone.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just waiting for Commissioner Doolittle to come back in.
Because
Actually,
I don't believe this will today necessarily meets the requirements of having a public meeting for those concerns.
Well, like, most have already mentioned, this could either stop it or move it forward at this point, you know, for the initial.
Well, I think that the letters clearly states that, it's up to you guys.
There's a coffee machine, but. I know I could use a cup too. Did you want this letter back, your original?
No. Okay. Yeah, you could just put it in.
I'll put it with the minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll bring your coffee truck around. for
Hey,
the-
Brady, this is Commissioner Haggerty. How are you? Hey, good, sir. Hey, we're in the question here. I've got questions for you, but I was waiting for my other commissioner to walk in. On so we have some clarification, the folks that are here and stuff. Can all you guys hear him first or not?
I can.
Okay, I got you turned up now, so you're basically on speakerphone. Concern is if this moved forward and stuff, and then you would get involved, therefore you would then have another public forum, is that right?
So yeah, so if this gets approved, what the next step would be I would visit the site and talk to Will, and we would go over fluid management, shielding, basically a rundown of the rules that pertain to junk vehicle laws. And then after that, I would use that information to draft an environmental assessment. And that is the document, it's gonna look at, water, dust, air quality, I mean, pretty much everything. That would go out to public comment once it's reviewed by supervisors and legal. That would have a 30-day public comment period. And then any comment, so on that one, I would only reply to any comments that had any substance to it, like concerns with groundwater or concerns with noise. If it was a comment like, I don't like this, we wouldn't respond to those types of comments.
Right. Question as an example, say you go out there and this moves forward and you check on it. And then as time goes by, there's something found in the water or anything else. Does this halt this whole thing, or how does that work?
So we've never run across that. Usually we supply everyone with like best management practices, make sure the fluids are being taken off site and disposed or recycled up properly. If something came up, I actually don't know how we would handle it. If it was determined to be related to the wrecking yard, I guess there could be legal action from that. But I've never run into that in the time I've been doing this.
Okay, and then I believe I've got one question from the community here. If you can hear him. Go ahead, Deb.
Hey Brady, this is Deb Hanovan. I talked to you earlier. So my question is, if the commissioners say no to this resolution, that's it, right? DEQ does not do anything to move this forward. Is that correct?
That is correct. If the commissioners basically adopt a resolution of no, we won't have this. The application as it stands is dead in the water. The state will not change anything, do anything. It'll go back to the applicant saying this application's been denied. I guess in all honesty, he could try to reapply, but I don't think the outcome would be any different.
Okay, okay,
That doesn't mean he's not gonna keep doing what he's doing.
right.
And by obtaining a license, at least there's some oversight and some checking to make sure that things are being done right.
Okay, hey, thanks Brady.
So I have a question. So
Come on up here. You're gonna get a few questions.
this is Will again. I just had a question on what you just said. So yes, the commissioners have the say so today or whatever, but you just said that if I didn't get a license, I could still operate that way, but that's not what I'm after.
Well, no, I mean, technically to operate, you need a license.
Right, okay, and
There's still people that do it without a license, and I think what would happen from there is, you're probably gonna end up getting a complaint,
sure,
and that complaint is gonna go to our enforcement department.
yes, and I don't want any of
Enforcement's gonna
it,
work with the
yeah,
county,
yeah.
and, I mean, obviously, the end goal of that is either get a license or you have to stop doing what you're doing.
Yeah, and I understand, and that's why I was just asking, because it didn't make any sense what you said there to me, but when did DEQ when did this start where, you know, or what year did it start to get a license to have a scrapyard?
So the program, I believe it started, I wanna say it was like 77.
Oh, was it?
76, somewhere in there.
Okay, I didn't know, you know, like I said, I was, I didn't realize the guy had to have one, you know,
Yeah, and you're not the only, there's plenty of people out there that are doing it, and I mean, it's just me in the program, honestly. So there's only so much I can do, but when something comes up and we have the information that somebody should have a license, then we work with them to try to get that squared away.
sure. And from your experience, do most wrecking yards get an okay on this?
Yes.
Okay. And does it really matter if it's in a residential area or town or out of town, or what's the better look?
So the location is never determined by DEQ. On the application, we asked for the county junk vehicle coordinator, who currently is Mike Myers with the Solid Waste Department. So he got a copy of the application to okay it. We send it to any zoning office that may have it. We did send it in, and we got a reply that you're not in a zoned area, so there was no issue there. So as long as all those are checked, I mean, we'll license it at that site.
Okay. Thank you.
I got a question. Brady, this is Commissioner Craig Little with Jefferson County. You might have answered my question when I was asking our planner the same question to see if she knew, is if this is denied, can he apply for a license again down the road?
I mean, there's nothing stopping him from applying again. I don't think there's a rule that says if you're denied, you can't apply again.
Okay. And is there, Mr. Bowen brought up the fact that there's no rules against it in a residential area. What the questions are here is this was a residential area way prior to this becoming a junkyard for the last 20 years.
Okay.
Does that change anything, or is that just something that's left in the lap of the commission?
So I would have to say that's left in the lap of the commission. As long as we get a sign off from the zoning department, some towns, some counties won't allow these. I know here in Lewis and Clark, you cannot have a wrecking yard in a residential county, so they wouldn't sign that off. So it purely is just county by county and case by case.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Brady, I think that's it. I appreciate you answering everything and your time.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Okay, still a comment. Does anyone have anything to say or anything from the public at this point now?
Well, the only thing I can say is I would appreciate the chance for the DEQ to come and check it out. That's mainly what I'm asking. If we can move forward to that point. It would mean a lot to me and I would like to do things the correct way. So that's what I'm looking at.
My comment on that is I have no faith whatsoever in the DEQ for them to get around to do anything.
Anyone else? Oh. Okay, any other discussion then? Oh,
I just want to put on record, Helen, that I abstained from the conversation and the vote because I'm directly related to one of the participants here, so
Oh, okay.
I won't be. Obviously, I've been quiet through the whole meeting. That is why, because Dwayne.
was weird.
No, I knew it was coming. I just waited for Corey to say something.
I'll be abstaining from the whole thing just so we don't have a inkling of favorability or anything.
Thank you.
You should have known, because Corey always has something to say.
Well, weird, but
okay then. I guess we'll make a decision then. You say, yep, and decide. Okay. I would entertain a motion. Rather I did.
I don't begrudge anybody trying to provide for their family and making money. But I think, in my opinion, and in my mind, the license procedure has been around for 40 years. You heard that right from the DEQ guy. The community and the residential area has been around for 30 to 40 years. Your wrecking yard, by your own admission, has been there for 20 years. And I think had you applied for a license back then, I honestly don't know what would have happened. But I can tell you that today, I would make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that we oppose the wrecking yard at 153 Whitetail Lane.
Okay. And since.
My only-
Okay.
There will be a discussion.
Yeah, there'll be a discussion in a minute. And you abstain, so I'd have to second with what Commissioner Kirsch says. Now, any discussion?
No, I like I said, I can't hold a regular job down because I broke my back. I'm limited to what I can do. Honest, I'm not trying to weigh on anybody's feelings or anything like that. But instead of being on welfare and stuff, I get out every day and I work my butt off for what I have. I haven't asked any favors from anybody. All I was asking was the opportunity to try to make things right through DEQ and my neighbors. And
I understand that, Bowman, Mr. Bowman, and I appreciate that. My issue is from my standpoint, what I've heard today from DEQ, from you, from the residents, from Mr. Murphy. I wish you would have applied for a license 20 years ago.
yeah,
Because I think had you done it right from the beginning and talked to your neighbors
Mhm.
and got some input from them and said, hey, this is my plan. DEQ's coming out to inspect this site. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna follow the rules. And these are the rules. And
Well,
and
one thing
I
is
think
never-
that would have been much better and we would be having a different conversation back then than we're having today.
And I guess I can explain the way it happened a little bit better, maybe you can understand it a little better, is, I started, working for a scrap company. I used to travel around and shear iron and all that stuff, and I quit working as a contractor, okay? So, when that, I guess, that all went away or whatever, I just kind of started the motorcycle thing too before that. And it wasn't really, it was just to sell parts on eBay. It wasn't, something I'm trying to do as a wrecking yard to begin. So that's why, one reason I never crossed my mind. Secondly, then I cleaned that up and then I got into doing your cars here and there. It wasn't nothing like, I didn't even have any equipment, It wasn't like something I thought I wanted to do or I planned on doing. It just kind of progressed. And that's why I never did a license and then, just grew into what it is. And that's really, I wasn't trying to fool anybody or anything, just that's why I did not pursue that. Is I didn't, at what point should I say, okay, well, now I am a wrecking yard? You know what I mean? It was never like that. And so it was never intended to be vindictive in any kind of way.
Understandable. And I would encourage you, from my standpoint, to talk to your neighbors, work with your neighbors, with them, not against them,
Right.
not, I mean, and reapply for this license. And I think had you done that 20 years ago, you might have done it with their blessing.
Right, and I have.
And I don't
disagree.
So that's my take on it, and that's my motion, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, and the only other thing I'd add to that, because Commissioner Doodle's added a lot that I would have said, is if in doubt, always ask, Mr. Bowen.
Oh, yeah, well.
As for your other entities, state entities and everything else, instead of, unfortunately, with how it came to be with our health department being involved, Mr. Murphy, that's how this all came to be. So it would have been nobody knowing anything about it.
Well, and the thing is, if I'd have known that really that's what I needed to do, I would have done it, whatever. It didn't have to happen because somebody else.
No, I understand, but like Commissioner Doodle said, 20 years, I'm looking at that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess while all my neighbors are here, if I did a water test. And, if anything else was bothering, line of sight or anything like that, if I dealt with that, would you guys be, think about letting me continue what I'm doing so I can support my family?
I would say this to that, and I'm not speaking for your neighbors.
Mhm.
But I know you're trying to follow the rules, and I get that. And sometimes you have to follow the rules, and if you have neighbors that work with you instead of against you, you need to maybe go above and beyond them rules. Maybe you do need a fence, not from the highway, but from
Sure.
Mr. Scott's house.
Right, yeah, and
Maybe you could discuss with him
Mhm.
about, I don't think Mr. Salisbury, and I'm not speaking for him, I'm just speaking about it. I don't think he minds if there's tires up against your fence over by his property. I think that makes a big difference. I think it makes a big difference if he can see the tires. And the water. That
Yeah,
would be
and I'm
another
concerned
issue.
about that too. I
And-
really, I mean, I'm not against that at all.
And I don't think you're gonna get an answer from your neighbors today, but that's just a suggestion, and I would encourage you to reapply and get some help and do it the correct way.
Right.
That,
I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I honestly don't even know where you guys live.
Oh, you've been to our house.
Have I?
So you know.
Is your place the one with the little cabin out in front?
That's right.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Now we have a table on the floor, an opposition to approve this. So I would bring it to a vote. All those in favor to oppose this resolution number 13-2026. State by saying aye.
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 Abstain.
Thank you. Okay,
you have a resolution for yourself.
Yeah.
anything else, anyone? Not, will be adjourned.
You could just give them both of them.
I think, I don't remember what the word is.
Thank you for all parties coming. Oh,